Welcome to Comedy MX's Cartoon Classics channel. Binge out on the animated Superman, Popeye, Bugs Bunny and Friends, Technicolor classic tunes, animators UB Iwerks and Max Flesicher, Mickey Mouse, Betty Boop, and all your cartoon favorites. Animate your everyday at Cartoon Classics channel. So return with us now to those golden days of yesteryear.
Nothing.
Miami, Florida, home of the Fleischer Studios, where the latest scientific developments are employed in the art of motion picture cartooning. Leading experts are gathered in production conference on the famous cartoon, Popeye the Sailor Man. Hundreds of drawings comprising the results of their deliberations are arranged upon surrounding walls. The pictures representing highlights in the story's development are shifted around as department heads plan or change details of production. Known as idea or key drawings, they are given to a group of artists called animators. The animators further develop the idea by making additional sketches, each one of which bears a slight change in picture alignment and figure contour in order to depict a degree of progressed action. As there are hundreds of pictures to be animated, the routine drawings in between the key pictures are filled in by other artists who are called in-betweeners. If you've ever flipped the pages of a pad of pictures drawn in sequence, you have no doubt observed how the action creates the illusion of motion. From the in-betweeners, the pencil drawings pass on to the cartoon inkers. The inkers trace the sketches on squares of celluloid. For short, they are called cells. They provide the characters with an invisible support and facilitate their arrangement with other figures as well as backgrounds. The ink drawings are then filled in with color. At the stockroom counter, painters or fillers in replenish their ever-dwindling color supplies. Great care must be exercised by the paint mixers. As a large group of painters are currently working with the same colors, the shades that all are using must match perfectly. Any variance in color will be noticeable on the screen. In filling in the outlines, the figures are reversed as the paint is applied, so the cells, when placed before the camera to be photographed, will present a smooth, glossy surface with no suggestion of paint or brush lines. Now the characters must be provided with a fitting environment. In this department, settings are designed and decorated by artists whose work is just as important and perhaps more complicated than figure animation. It also entails a similar degree of repetition. These artists supply landscapes, street scenes, buildings, exteriors and interiors, as well as furnishings. They must be adept at creating the illusions of wind-blown clouds, waving palm trees, rolling seas, moving vehicles, and other effects that suggest activity. The character drawings are used to aid them in obtaining proper figure placement in relation to backgrounds, also to aid in creating perspective and scene composition when the celluloids are assembled before the camera. For instance, Popeye's girlfriend, Olive Oil, must appear in normal relation to her patio doorway. And it would never do to let Popeye miss the rug when he bends his painted knee in ardent admiration. Many cells or pictures are required to complete this action. Now the thousands of celluloids bearing figures and backgrounds go into the long routine photographic process. All departments of the studio are supervised by Max Fleischer, veteran cartoonist. In bringing the spinach-inspired seagoing strongman to the screen, he is known as Popeye's Filmland Papa. One at a time, each drawing is placed in a holder and a single exposure is made on film. Upon this new apparatus, actual scenes are constructed to convey the idea of depth and to permit the movement of backgrounds. For instance, many drawings of this bird must be photographed, each one with the wings and other lines of body contour in slightly changed positions. Also, with each exposure, the background is moved to create the illusion of flight. The process must be repeated many times with all characters and accessories that simulate motion. When it is realized that hundreds of sheets of celluloid, each bearing characters, properties, or scenic effects, must be superimposed one over the other so that figures will pass and repass each other in photographic action, thousands of exposures become necessary to complete the entire motion picture. The production of film cartoons is long on routine and heavy with detail and requires considerable special equipment. The groups of pictures for each exposure are held in place by chromium register pins, and the holder is adjusted to the camera by heavy iron arms that lock in mesh. Beginning with one sustained picture, note how this series of pictures flashed on the screen up to the rate of 24 per second speeds the action. The eye retains the image of one until another appears, creating the illusion of motion pictures. Finally, the picture goes into the cutting room, where the film is cut into scenes and edited. Voices are then recorded on the film, and department heads put Popeye through a preview.
Princess, wouldst it please thee? Or, wouldst it please thou?
What are you, a thee or a thou?
Fairest one, I was about to say is...
Yes, I'll marry you.
Oh, you will? Oh, she's gonna marry me. Oh, it's wonderful. I think she's making a big mistake, but I don't know. Oh, I go. Bring me friends to the wedding, but I shall return.
Oh, don't forget to come back.
Heidi ho, Silver. Away.
Thus, through popular science and out of the Inkwell illusion becomes fantastic screen entertainment.
adult and 3 children, please. Thank you. Come, children.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Watch your step, please.
Hey, how much to go in?
The charge is 5 cents, please.
Gee, that's tough. All I got is 1 cent. Get it? Let's see. There ought to be some way of getting into this joint. Uh-oh.
Hi, gang. And now if you'll all be quiet, we'll start the show. I drew this cartoon all by myself, but shucks, it wasn't hard because I'm an artist. I hope you like it. Yeah, thank you.
tumbling down. Remember? All those little leaves, they're falling on me. That's what they're doing in a rain. And the sun went out just like a dying ember. That's what it was. It was in September. That's when it was, yes, in a rain. Oh, look at those little clouds up there in a hill. Oh, and the little rain drops. They're falling on me. That's what they're doing. And Mammy, oh, look up there at the sun. It's shining on your little sunny boy. Come on, play it for me. Spring is here, and it's September. That's what it is. Building up, play it. That's September. In a rain.
Well, folks, how did you like my picture? That's all, folks.
Hey, Mute, what's the big idea of busting up my act? Oh. Why, Muty, I'm a new man. Haven't you heard about the wonderful thing Dr. Weston did for me? He stepped up my post, gave me a set of vocal cords. You ought to see him. Take it from me, you'll never land a job the way you are. Let's go. Here we are.
Hello, Talkie. What's on your mind now?
Doc, my old friend Muty wants you to put him through the works.
Why, man, you still run on 60. We'll have to pep you up to 90. Open your mouth. Yeah. And no wonder you can't talk. You have no soundtrack. Come right along with me. Now, Talkie, let's put on an act for Muty and let him follow us through. Silence!
Just a song at twilight, when the lights are low, and the flickering shadows softly
this booth is a motion picture camera which is taking pictures through this window. We use a soundproof booth. When it's closed, it keeps the camera noise away from the microphone. The camera is operated by a motor which runs at exactly the same speed as the motor in the sound machine. Woo! It's hot in this booth. Let's get out on the set again, and I'll show you how the sound is picked up by the microphones on the stage. Sound waves are picked up by this wonderful mechanical ear, the microphone, which is really a glorified telephone transmitter. This microphone changes the sound waves into electrical vibrations, which are amplified here and sent along these wires to the mixer room. The sounds from the stage microphones are mixed here so that they sound natural for the action in the production. Mr. Mixer sees the actors through this window and hears them only through this horn. Now that we've got the sound right, I'll show you how it's amplified. Get ready. The power from the microphones is amplified about 10 million times by these vacuum tubes, making the voice current strong enough to operate the machine that photographs the sound. Do you follow me? This is the machine that is used to record the sound on film. This sound film is traveling at the same rate of speed as the picture film in the camera booth. The light valve has two thin metal strings stretched across this tiny slit. On one side of the slit is a strong light, while on the other is a film, moving at exactly the same speed as the picture camera in the studio. The greatly amplified voice currents passing through these tiny light valve strings move them closer together or further apart, thus changing the size of the slit. Therefore, the light varies as it passes through this rapidly changing opening, leaving a true photographic record of the voice currents on the film. Simple, isn't it? Huh? Now let's look at the films after they've been developed. Well, here we are. Here are our two negatives developed. The next step is to print these two negatives onto a third piece of film. We'll print the sound record first, and then the picture record. Here we have a completed sound print. We're now ready for projection. This is the picture and sound projector. One motor drives both the picture and sound equipment. You see? Let me illustrate this with a simple diagram. This lamp illuminates the soundtrack on the film. The light from the lamp passes through the slit, throwing a very narrow line of brilliant light on the soundtrack. As the film runs past this light, the marks on the soundtrack cause the light to increase and decrease. This light, in turn, causes the current through the photoelectric cell to increase and decrease, thus producing the electric vibration first created sound waves. The current from the photoelectric cell is pepped up by the amplifier, and then this amplified is carried by wires along through the theater and down to the screen on the stage to connect with the loudspeakers. This is a typical layout of the stage set with two horns behind the screen. The receivers connected to the horns convert the electrical vibrations back into sound waves exactly the way the telephone receiver operates, so that while the picture is being shown, the sound which was recorded is reproduced in step with the picture. The screen is full of small holes so that the horns may be placed behind the screen to let the sound through. This gives the illusion that the sound is coming from the image of the speakers. Talkie, there goes your cue. You're next on screen, while Muty can go try on his new voice.
Okay.
Just a song that's wide
Whoopee! I found my voice! Ha, 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 ha. Let me into that machine.
No, you can't go on now. Tuffy's doing his stuff.
I can't, Professor. Well, you just watch me. Whee! Wow! Right down. What's the idea? Keep still, I said. Keep still. Just because you got a voice now, don't shout. Boy, I'm a gasolina. Whee! Wow! Whoa! Wait, don't boy. Look here, Smarty. If you must stay on the screen with me, suppose we get together with a little close harmony. What do you say? Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. We're going to leave you now. Merrily we roll along, roll along, roll along. Merrily we roll along o'er the deep blue sea. Good night, ladies.